Welcome back to another Featured Friday. Today's card is a Japanese vending series Mewtwo. So there's nothing too special about this particular Mewtwo card other than it looks totally awesome. I absolutely love the artwork on it, and it's one of the first vending series cards. But the reason I wanted to feature today is to kind of kick off my Japanese vending series collection. So I was able to work out a fairly large trade with someone that I met through YouTube. It was actually, we worked out the trade several months ago, but due to school and other issues like that, we actually just sent the trade this month. And I got maybe a dozen or so of these vending series cards to go ahead and kick off my vending series collection. So I thought this would, while I'm focusing on Mewtwo in this video, just in general kind of looking at the vending series series, I guess, as a whole in this video. So this is part of the first vending series, which originally started in 1998, so pretty old stuff. And this was a different way of distributing Pokemon cards. Basically, we had, or not we, the Japanese had vending machines, and you got like an entire sheet with damage counters, and I believe the first two series just had 3 cards and like damage and special counters and stuff like that. And then the third series had 3 cards, the damage counters, and then like a spoof card or a fun card on the back as well. The way that, because of the way they're distributed and the way they kind of had to be peeled off the sheet, makes them very valuable to collectors because, I mean, you can get them like this where they've already been peeled off, and we'll go ahead and just show you that, you know, because of the, you know, the depending on when it's been peeled off and how it's peeled off, it still keeps the card in mint condition. But there are a lot of collectors out there that collect them by the unpeeled sheet as well. So I've got a couple of different things to go for, although I think I'm going to just focus on the individual cards right now, and maybe down the road I'll look at the unpeeled versions. If you ever get your hands on one of these cards, it's kind of hard to tell from the video, but they're not printed on the normal cardstock. You can kind of see where that glare is going, just the difference in texture that you would get from a normal Pokemon card. And let me grab a normal Pokemon card. Well, why don't we just grab another Mewtwo? So, you know, ignore the little stamp there, but you can kind of see, yeah, as I focus the glare along, you know, it doesn't have that same kind of almost a ripple effect. These cards are printed on like a glossy matte type a surface, and that was frequently used for promo cards, especially Japanese promo cards back in that time, and probably made them a lot more durable to make it through the vending machines, and didn't damage the card nearly as much when you peeled it off. The glue I could see damaging our standard cards, so because of the, I guess, the reaction of it with these glossy cards, it didn't risk damaging the cards nearly as much. So this is still a really cool series, and I'm just really looking forward to starting it. This Mewtwo itself, I think, is, I really don't know what the rarest card in these sets are. I think this is like a good $10 card, but there's plenty of other like common cards that you can find. I think the third series, because it was significantly bigger, tend to be rare, and there's other vending machine cards that were sent out as like, or not sent out, but like given out as promos at various events that are much more difficult to find. But this is just another example of why being a Japanese collector is so difficult, because not only do we have you know, the regular sets just like English and things to worry about, but we also have an insane number of promos, including things like this. There's 36 cards in the first vending series, 36 in the second, and then 53 in the third. So while they're not giant sets by any means, they're still good size, and they're still going to present a challenge for collectors that are trying to get them 14 years after their release. So the only other thing that I want to show or say about this card is the first attack. So second attack, I think it's called Super Confusion. It's just for 50, so not that bad. But the first attack I really like. For 1 psychic energy, it does 10 times the number of psychic energy in play on your opponent's side. And I just thought this was a an interesting attack, simply because it was a counter to a lot of other psychic decks. A lot of psychics cards are weak to other psychic cards, and I always kind of wondered, or I've been kind of wondering since I read the attack, if this was actually a playable card in its time. You see our Mewtwo Wars now, so it's not quite on the same caliber as that, but it's still very interesting. So that's all I have to say about this card. Again, the Mewtwo itself really isn't too impressive, but I thought it was just kind of more worthwhile to kind of focus on the entire vending series sets as a whole. So hope you guys enjoyed this featured Friday, and stay tuned for next Friday for another card.